Good afternoon once again. This is Attorney Ramon de las Alas, and we're back again at my YouTube channel, NBA Trivia and NBA Sports Cards et al. And this is also the name of my Facebook page so that you can easily Google it or locate it on Facebook. We will have another episode, and for this episode, we will again be discussing uh, about another Hall of Famer. And this one is nicknamed The Blade, Alex English. That's his rookie card, Alex English. If I'm not mistaken, this is his rookie card. This is the rookie card of Alex English. Alex English, the Blade. He was a 6'7" forward. He was a 6'7" forward from the South Carolina Gamecocks. Well, he matriculated therein. He was born last January 5, 1954 and at Columbia, South Carolina. He was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame last 1997. He was an 8-time NBA All-Star in 92, in 1982, 83, 84, 1985, 86, 87, 88, and 89. Alex English, he was a 3-time All-NBA second team in 1982, 1983, and 1986. He was also a 1-time NBA scoring champion in 1983. I think he averaged 28.4 points per game during that season. Yes, I'm correct. It's in my notes. He was a 3-time NBA Player of the Month in March 1982, January 8, 1983, and November 1985. And the answer to a trivia question, who scored the most points during the 80s decades, it was Alex English. He scored more points than Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Bernard King, Adrian Dantley, George Gervin, and the like. The other scorers during that time. His best season was with the Denver Nuggets. Statistically, during the 1982-83 season, he averaged 28.4 points per game, 7.3 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 1.4 steals, 1.5 blocks, and 51.6 percent from the field. That's the Blade, Alex English, one of the best to ever play the game. He was drafted in the second round by the Milwaukee Bucks in the 1976 NBA draft. He was the 23rd overall pick. During the time, there were only 20 teams, or yes, 20 teams during the time that was the merger of the ABA and the NBA. So there were, I think, there were only 16 teams because the four teams that were added by the or admitted by the NBA or integrated by the NBA from the ABA were not allowed to draft first round picks during that time. So he was around the seventh overall pick in the second round by the Milwaukee Bucks. His numbers were number 23, 22, and 2. Those were the numbers that he used. He was around 195, 90 or 90 to 195 pounds when he played during his career. That was his playing weight. He was one of the slashers and scorers during the 1980s. and he was also inducted into the College Basketball Hall of Fame in 2006. He was one of those switch shooters. He actually in this card of his jump shot is similar to that of Bob McAdoo, which was once described as like a short guy or a little boy trying to put a pizza on the top of a tall oven. That's Alex English, one of the best to ever. He, actually, he was thinking that he would be selected and as a redemption for selected as a redemption to the NBA 75 greatest of all time. However, he was not chosen unfortunately, but well, they that those were the choices of the appointed appointed voters of the NBA, which well there were tendencies and biases because well what you see are the current players and you have forgotten most of the other ones, the exploits of the former players, and most of the records in a career where for the Denver Nuggets are held by Alex English. Well, at least until Nikola Jokic retires with the Denver Nuggets. He was one, and the Athletic actually, as a redemption, sort of a redemption, the Athletic ranked him as the 71st greatest players in NBA history. Well, he was also the first NBA to score 2,000 points in 8 consecutive seasons. I think LeBron James already matched that. Jordan, Kobe, most likely. But Alex English was the first one to do so. He was one of the best, very best. His number 2 jersey was retired by the Denver Nuggets, while his number 22 jersey for the South Carolina Gamecocks were also retired by his college team. He was unfortunately again he faced against the mighty Lakers, the Showtime Lakers during the 80s, and his teammates Dan Eisel, Fat Liber are simply too short and one guy short. They are one guy short of being one of the elite, super elite teams. Well, Kiki Van de Wey and Calvin Nat were there along with him for a short time. Fat Liber. Well, the Dan Eisel was too short for a center. He was not a shot blocker, but he was he adapted to Coach Dogmo's running game. They were the Denver Nuggets were the highest scoring team every season, almost if not first, second, third, every season during the 80s, during the time of English, Eisel, Van de Wey, Knapp, Lever, and the like. And if the Denver Nuggets had a shot blocking center, then instead of Wayne Cooper, they could have been better. Their center most of the time were Dan Eisel and replaced by Wayne Cooper, but Dan Eisel was already old when Wayne Cooper arrived. That's why they never made it. Well, if you had if you had Wayne Cooper and Dan Eisel and Alex English and another probably a big shooting guard, because when Dan Eisel was the center, there were Calvin Nat and Kiki Van de Wey were the other forward. They split time with Alex Inglis. Well, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite cards in my collection. This is a Panini Crusade, which I have shown you before with the uh, photograph of another player, Alex English. This is a base. I very sorry I cannot locate my numbered card of this Panini Crusade. This is the card of Alex English. He has another card, a Prism, but I like this card better than the Prism, the Prism one. This is a base insert, but look at the beauty of the Denver Nuggets uniform there. You can clearly see the snow-capped mountain, the snow-capped mountain featuring Alex English, uh, one of the best there is to ever lace up the sneakers of well, he should have been his number should definitely it was actually retired, and he was one of those who kept the Nuggets franchise alive during the 1980s. He was he was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks and played with the Indiana Pacers for a season. Then when he went to the Denver Nuggets, he became their star. He developed and became their franchise player, so to speak. And then after when he was already in the twilight of his career, he was traded to the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks then were the expansion team. They were an expansion team then, or the second year. And Alex English was no longer as good as he was when he played for the Dallas Mavericks. He merely averaged 9.7 points per game. However, during his last season in Denver, he was still averaging 18 points per game. Well, Alex English is probably one of the more underrated players. Had he been playing today, he would have possibly made the 75 greatest. Alex English, Carmelo Anthony, they're almost the same. Uh, Alex English was also quick, but I think Carmelo was quicker during his prime. But Alex English was a more potent scorer, and being the top scorer during the 80s. When Michael Jordan was around, Larry Bird was around, Moses Malone was around, Jabbar, Bernard King, well, there were George Gervin, but his peak was from the beginning of the 80s to the late 80s. That's why Alex English scored the most points uh, during the 80s decade. And I think that he was also inducted in the College Basketball Hall of Fame last 2006. I don't know if I have stated that before. And he he did not reach his full potential with the Milwaukee Bucks because Bob Dandridge was there, and Junior Bridgman. That is all for our player this episode, Alex English. He was still with the Pacers during this time because when he was still with his first team, the Milwaukee Bucks, he was a non-entity. He merely averaged 3.2, a paltry na 3.2 points per game. Alex English. Yes. The Blade. His jump shot is not similar to the others with a bent elbow. That's why you need a high jumper or a tall guy probably taller than him, possibly taller than him, in order to block his shot. The one guarding him here is Kevin Greavy. I think he's who's that? Greavy? Kevin Greavy, I think. A 6'6" guard forward. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you once again. God bless, and may the force be with you. That's the Star Wars logo. This is Attorney Ramon de las Alas. Once again, signing off. I'm broadcasting from Quezon City, Metro Manila, Philippines, East Asia. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button and follow my Facebook page. Thank you. Till next episode. Goodbye.